Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Contingency Plan Podcast. My name is Jedi Master David, and with me, as always, is Darth Austin.
Hello, everyone.
Well, look at us. Actually recording.
They can't.
Oh.
It's audio.
Well, they might eventually. Who knows? We might get with the
Well,
times.
if we ever actually post them, because we still technically are on hiatus, I guess.
This is true. I'm just trying to get a stock, you know?
We should have done that before I left for 2 months.
That's
Not after I came back.
Well, that's true. Yeah, but, you know, I mean, we will eventually in the future at some point. I mean, we could have played all this off. They wouldn't have known.
I mean, come on. Don't you think they all want to listen to our soothing, calm voices as they deal with last-minute Christmas shopping?
Maybe. Maybe. Next up on NPR, it's cold outside, but not the song because that's not PC anymore. I
saw an edited version of that where, like, the guy's just like, no, really, so you should leave. Okay, I'll open the door for you. Go on, go.
So
get out.
we were I don't remember where we were. We were out doing something, and the, in quotations, remix of that song came on. And I was like, oh, I thought this song was canceled. But it was, you know, obviously two completely different voices, you know, not all old-timey transatlantic accent thing going on. But, yeah, it was like, you really should go. Well, maybe I could stay a few more. No, like, you really need to get out. No, I mean, it's so cold. It's like, well, here's your coat.
Yeah, that's probably what I listened to.
It's like, I'll call you an Uber. It's like, oh, that
it
is
was actually he was a comic who helped write it. I can't think of the guy's name, but he has like super long, moppy, like soccer mom hair.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, I just thought it was funny. It was progressively just the guy trying to get this girl to go, and she's like, oh, maybe just like 3 more drinks. It's like, no, you've definitely had enough. You're being cut off. Now get the hell out of here. Oh, boy.
It's a TikTok thing, so it's extremely stupid, but there's a lot of people who like do remixes of Feliz Navidad. And like last year, it was putting apple bottom jeans, all the lyrics to that in place of Feliz Navidad. And now it's like some super vulgar Nicki Minaj song or something, like really terrible.
WAP, huh?
No, it's worse than WAP.
Navidad.
No. But no, last year everyone's just like, apple bottom jeans, the boots with the fur.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's dumb. That's so stupid.
It's very dumb, but it is catchy.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well, how's your week been?
Not too bad. Today was not fun, but it could have been worse, I suppose. I was supposed to work out in this godforsaken landscape of death and destruction for like 6 hours this morning, starting at 4 a.m., so I'm glad I got canceled.
Oh, you got canceled? Wow.
I got canceled. Why you're still recording with me, I don't know.
You know, I
Your
love
views are going to go way down.
I love the controversy. I'm like Joe Rogan, you know. Sign that exclusive deal with a site.
Is Joe Rogan really even controversial anymore? I mean, he literally will talk to anybody. If you're that inclusive, can you say that you're controversial? Well, it's like South Park. Yeah, it's offensive, but it's offensive towards everyone.
Well, yeah, it's tough. It's tough to say anymore. You know, I've seen certain things that were supposed to be, you know, the wording of woke or supposed to be uber inclusive, but because they didn't do one specific thing, they're being bashed. So, I mean, it's a really hard thing to muddle through. So with what most people just wind up doing is you just don't engage in it anymore.
I don't. I really don't. I couldn't tell you who the last person was that got canceled.
Yeah.
And I really don't care. I mean, there are legitimate cases where, someone should probably not be popular anymore. Cause
Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, just all around crappy people.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are just, I mean, they get a little crazy with it.
Yeah, no,
and I think there's a statute of limitations to it. I mean, yes, you still made a mistake, but some people, it's like, that was when you were a child. You were really stupid, and now you're a different person.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the mistake. But
sure, of course. But like a stupid comment or something.
oh, sure.
That
Yeah.
you said
yeah,
like 20 years ago. It's like, well, yeah, you were a stupid child.
Yeah, I mean, children say dumb things, and then there's some people who never grow up. I mean, I've, well, there's a lot. But anyway, I was originally going to say, so like Elon Musk, I mean, he was the star for a very long time.
Twitter is just if it wasn't a dumpster fire, now it is with everything going on.
Well, see, it was always a dumpster fire, and it was always going to be, because they paid people to literally do nothing. He fired 4,000 people. 4,000 people, over 4,000, and it still runs.
And all those people were probably making six figures.
I mean, a lot of them were making a lot of money, but you know, the whole thing's it's a sham. I think he'll do fine. Honestly, I saw one thing today where it's like, could Mr. Beast be the new Twitter CEO under Elon? I mean, that would be the smartest thing to do at this point. Grab one of those people that's like, you know, super untouchable, that doesn't have controversy. Because like, dude, I don't necessarily agree with like, have you ever heard of the channel CoffeeZilla?
I've heard of it. I've never listened to it.
He does a lot of like expose stuff, and like, you know, some of it I think is well done. Some of it I think it isn't. I'm not sure really 100% about that, but like, you look at some of the influencers that run these like terrible pump and dump crypto schemes and like all this like back alley gambling crap. And, you know, I've seen him confront a few of these people, and you know what? At the end of the day, they're just dumb. They're dumb, but they've ran into the right kind of people that just want to scam people. And it is. Most of it's just all a scam. Don't buy into any of that garbage. But
unfortunately, it's something that really hasn't changed throughout the years. I mean, there have always been stupid financial scams. It's just the scale in which people can advertise them now. Yeah. And that really just goes back to educating someone at a young age on how all of that stuff works.
Yeah, I mean,
it amazes me the older I get. And like, we're not really well off, obviously, but we're smart with money, and having conversations with like 90% of people about anything related to finances is just kind of sad. Yeah. Like, most people don't understand how our tax bracket system works.
Nope.
Like, I can't tell you how many people I have to hear like, oh, I worked overtime, so they're screwing me on taxes. Like, no, you made more money, and it's a percentage-based system.
Yeah.
Like, apparently I should be an accountant because I just understand things that 90% of people I work with don't. I don't get it.
No, it is down to education, but yeah, it's a weird place out there. But you can trust us, and that's why you can trust our total not pyramid scheme that we'll make up later. Just send us money; it'll be fine.
That's right. You send it now, we'll make it up later.
Trust in the force,
not the money, the system. Trust in the force. The newest pyramid scheme. The Force.
The Force. Have you heard of the Force? Well, let me tell you something.
We can have tier systems like the kid who picks up the broom at the end of Last Jedi, all the way up to like Luke Skywalker, Legends.
Well, hold on, man.
However much money you spend is how strong in the Force you are.
See, now you really will get canceled, because we all know the top of the pyramid is Rey, okay? Rey Skywalker.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
We're fine. Rey's fine. It's cool.
I think Grogu could probably beat Rey. But we won't get into that.
Hey, we'll see. Next season.
Was it March?
I don't remember. It's coming.
It's around March.
You know, there was an ad for like 2023 Disney Plus series and so forth, and they didn't have anything really on it, but they did show a second of Ahsoka. You know, just Rosario Dawson. That's
just reminding you, it's still a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. You remember all the other stuff that we dropped that won't be coming out anymore?
Right. Well, not this one. I did see a little like expose thing about Hayden and what all he'll be doing in Ahsoka. Apparently, he will be redoing the fight scene from Rebels in the new Ahsoka series. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I'm not complaining. I think it would be kind of cool. Especially, I think that all is just riding the hype train of the Obi-Wan Anakin fight, honestly. And I think it's going to be
Ahsoka
the
and Darth
same
Vader
setup.
are going to fight again.
Well, no, it's like literally a recreation of that fight.
Why? But why? I mean, that
And it
doesn't
would
make.
obviously have to be a flashback to do that.
Oh, that doesn't make any sense at all. That's stupid.
Maybe it'll be like the flashback Obi-Wan Anakin fight. I don't know. But there is talks of him having a pretty big role in the series, which
I mean, good for him.
I'm all for that. I mean, I'd love to see him really get back into Star Wars.
Yeah, it was just unfortunate that episode 2 just didn't stand the test of time as long as it should have.
Well, it kind of killed his career, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, but the thing is like he came back and really was actually quite good in 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's
I mean, his
problem.
acting was. A lot of people don't give 3 enough credit. I feel like for acting in general because it's all very emotional, well done portrayals of all these characters. Yeah. And I mean, we could talk about Revenge of the Sith forever, but between the choreography and the acting, it really is the pinnacle of Star Wars, I think, in some respects.
So, probably the best lightsaber combat, live action lightsaber combat that we've seen.
We still haven't seen better.
The story was still, it was a great story. Mm-hmm. And it George and his obsession with CGI, but like it wasn't quite as overly CGI'd as 2.
Well, the CGI was also more refined too that they did have.
Yeah, a bit more. But no, I mean, I think God, it's been a long time since we did a tier list, but three's crept up. I think it's always been on yours, but I think it's
been on my top 3. I can't remember if I kept it on my top 3 last go around because I think I put a newer one up there.
Dude, I don't know. We'll just redo.
It might have been Rogue One and Solo. Honestly,
the annual redo of our ranking award show.
In case you thought that we were integrity-driven people who never change their minds and we always backed what we say, this is our retelling of our review system. We should do that with the shows too. Just like the reviews change drastically.
Funny. Well, here's the thing though. I mean, like, it's okay to change your mind on something. And
I do that on almost every show we watch. I am constantly going back. I don't go back to the episode, but like whether we actually log it now or if I just remember what I scored, I look back after watching a little more. It's like, that was really low, or that was way too high. I got way too excited with that episode, and the arcs didn't go anywhere, and it kind of let me down. You know.
Yeah, we should one day become professionals and actually have a document to document these things.
We did. Then we stopped doing it. Remember?
I don't know.
What did we do that for? We did that for Obi-Wan, didn't we?
I don't know. No idea.
Pretty sure we did. Other small news. I guess we're getting a mini book for the Jedi Survivor game.
Fun. Okay.
It's going to follow.
I did see that. Yeah.
What's her name? His quote unquote master. I can't think of her name.
Oh, now. From the comics that we saw. And she.
Well, no, Kyle Kestis is the one that he travels with in the first game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There was the comic series where she was young.
Oh, I did forget about the comic series.
It was like a 4 or 5 issue arc we did, and then and then she shows up older in the game. Was it like Siri Junda or Seer Junda or something like that?
Junda's right. I know that's right.
Okay,
so.
But yeah, I remember. So it's following her.
It's following her, and then the Dathmerian girl, the Night Sister. I definitely can't remember her name.
Oh, yeah. It's fine.
You might not even know who that is. Do you finish a game or watch videos of cutscenes? Or
I've seen the end of the game.
Okay, so you probably know who she is. She's the one with the paint on her face.
Okay, fine. Good deal.
But yeah, we got that. Obviously, the game's coming out here soon. We got another reveal trailer on that. Getting excited about that.
Yeah, should be interesting. Good deal. So anyway, my week was fine. No, actually.
Oh yeah, back to that.
My week has been terrible. I haven't enjoyed this week at all. It sucked.
Well, Were you sick? Because at least you weren't sick, unless you were sick.
Oh, okay. Cry me a river.
I will.
No.
With my mucus.
Yeah,
mucus
no
cry.
sickness, but man, yeah, I mean, work has been nuts, and people have just been stupid. And what was it? 2 days ago, the internet just went completely out. So I called, and the first person I talked to had a dog just going off in the background, so obviously working from home, and a rooster.
Nice.
Rooster and a dog.
Nice.
And, they sent a tech out because it's like, we can't fix it. And the tech was the same guy who installed it. So he was like, oh, yeah, remember me? I remember doing all this. And so everything was fine. It was just that, and this is Breeze. Yeah, Breeze Line. If any of you have Breeze Line, cancel it. No, don't. No, wait. No, do it. They suck. They're terrible. So originally it was WoW, and I never had any problems with WoW. And I know some people did, but I never did. But as soon as it came to Breeze Line, for a few months it was fine, and then all of a sudden problems. So the internet goes out. Like, I'm literally working. I'm working from home, and it goes out. Just goes out. Well, the installer guy comes through. And he's like, "Yeah, so I know what your problem is because it's been happening to everybody." Breeze Line cut their list of acceptable boxes from like 40 to 10.
Really?
So my box wasn't on their list anymore, even though I bought it 2 months ago. I replaced our existing box because it was kind of being weird, and it was working fine. And then it's not on their list, so then they spike it and it's done. They won't carry the signal. So I had to buy a whole nother box, and then I was on the phone a half hour because now you have to call in and have them do all this bull to it, when it used to be you could just plug it in, it would be fine. So
you have to activate your modem now?
Well, they have to put it in their system.
What?
Yeah, it's dumber than dirt, and you can't do it on your own. You have to call these people, and the person that I got was terrible. Like, didn't know what they were doing at all. Finally, after a half-hour call, finally got it working. Everything was fine. There was an initial buffer on a video we were watching, but then everything was fine. And then storm hits. Everything's fine until about, I don't know, I want to say probably 11-ish o'clock. Then it went back out, and it hasn't been back up all day today. I mean, literally, we've had to. So we're bouncing off of her nephew's. Off of her nephew's internet next door.
Oh, he doesn't have the same stupid crap going on with his.
He doesn't.
Wow.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. They are a terrible internet provider, and basically, if everything works out for a while, I might just stay because I hate just changing. But my whole thing is like, I probably just need to change to somebody else.
Yeah.
It's not worth there was also a big mess up with the bill. They were literally like charging me an extra $20 a month, and I couldn't figure out why. There was a $2 fee for paper statements, which I never received and I didn't ask for.
Yeah, who gets that anymore?
Yeah. So I called in and it was like, yeah, you have to like sign this agreement for auto pay. And I was like, I already did. It already takes auto pay. It's already authorized. It's been paying for 4 months. It's like, no, yes, you're right, but you have to. I have to send you a link, and you have to go through. So
we can take your money without you doing the link and the signature, but
yeah,
we'll also charge you more if you don't do the signature.
Yeah, it was like I don't even remember what she called it, but the whole thing was you had to go in here and like say okay, and then that would discount your bill.
DocuSigns.
They are the current worst internet company right now, and
wow.
they're terrible, dude. Their reviews are terrible. Their company is terrible. All that those people had to do was literally say my box was out. They didn't have to send a guy.
Right. They probably already knew.
They never said it. And the guy said is like, yeah, customer service. He's like an independent. He's not like
right.
He's just contracted out. But he's like,
he's
yeah,
the guy dealing with their mess ups, basically.
Yeah, and he was just like, yeah, the customer service is terrible, and they probably just didn't want to upset you. Well, it's like this is actually more.
This is
upsetting.
worse. Yeah.
So when it went out today, I mean, I was hot, man. I was severely pissed about that. And yeah, it's been a nutty week, but you know, we go into the holidays and you know,
Too bad this couldn't have happened during your break or something, you know.
yeah, I know. I mean, I would have been, you know, had a little bit more time, but like, you know, when I'm working and everything, it's like I value my free time and I expect things to work. You know,
Right.
you give a service, I pay for it. I just expect it to work because I'm paying for it. It's not entitlement. I
And
just
you're paying a
expect to pay.
premium.
I just
I mean,
expect
it's not
it to work.
you are certainly paying a premium with internet. I mean,
Yeah,
let's not
I mean,
act like they don't
anymore,
make
yeah.
a ton of money off
Yeah.
of that. I mean, mine's like $90 to $100 right now for. Honestly, I need to cut it down because I've got way higher internet than what I could ever get with our line, with how busy it is.
Well, and see, that's the other thing too. Most people don't have either the line or the equipment, like their modem, router, whatever. I always buy the combo and I buy it. I'm not going to pay them. Their fee
the
is
rental fee.
It's $15 a month for them.
Ooh. I
And
mean, I've seen like 5 before, but
Yeah,
that's high.
It's 15. No, it's nuts. I would never do that. I'm just going to buy it because after
Is that for a combo or just a modem?
combo.
What do they give you?
It's a combo.
That's still ridiculous.
No, it's
but
insane.
if that was just a modem, I'd be really pissed.
Yeah. So I always buy it, but again, when I pay for something, I just expect it to work. Now I understand problems will happen. I get it.
Sure.
But it's just been nothing but problems. And it's been since the changeover. And it's like you have to plan these things out better.
Right.
So anyway, Breeze line, no go. I would and the only other problem is like I can't switch to AT&T, like the whatever the hell they call it now, because the highest package that they're offering me is 50. Currently right now I have 500.
50.
50. Yeah, that's the highest one that they say they offer. on their
Spectrum
site.
doesn't even have one that low.
No, they don't. No, and
I've got Spectrum 400.
yeah.
Granted, I'm only getting closer to like 250 because
Yeah.
again, I need new Ethernet lines ran.
Yeah.
Probably need to upgrade my box, and even then, I won't max out. I know I won't.
you never will. That's a pipe dream. But you know, I have looked at Spectrum. I hate Spectrum too. I think Spectrum is a terrible.
I'm not a fan of Spectrum. The only thing I like is their setup and their app is fairly easy.
Sure.
But once you get into customer service, it's god awful.
Yeah, but they offer a package that is very comparable price wise for the same speed of internet, and they lock it in for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. If anything else happens,
I only paid like $50 a month for the first 2 years. It was really cheap.
$40 right now.
Oh, it's 40 now.
$40
Nice.
for 500 for 2 years. 500 meg or whatever. Yeah.
That's crazy cheap.
Yeah, man. I'm thinking about it. I'm definitely thinking about it. Because with both of us working from home, it has to be reliable. Like, plain and simple,
your
it
internet
has to
goes
be.
down. You're both now. I mean, you're making money, but at the same time, you're putting your job on the line.
Well, I
So
can go
it's-
into the office.
Yeah.
She's not set up for that, you know. So it's
Right.
terrible, dude. It's
It's funny you mentioned just customer service. This week, my faith in my security when like dealing with banks for online customer service has gone really down.
yeah.
Our neighbor, older guy, he's a work from home, just a call tech for a bank. I forget which it is. I don't think it's yours, but one of the bigger banks.
Sure.
Way too big for this kind of stuff to be happening, but he's not really able to do a lot of handiwork. So just to help him out, like I'll install light fixtures and whatnot for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was installing a light fixture for him Monday. And he's like, okay, well, I'm just going to get back to work while you install that. And while I'm putting this light in, he on speaker, like, goes through this entire call with a business. And it's like this dude who's just paid to handle things that the owners can't because of the time zone difference. And he was just trying to figure out a expense, just a receipt. He needed a receipt for one expense from last month. And, you know, my neighbor was trying to explain to him, it's like, well, you're not an admin. I can't really help you with that. One of them has to call. He's like, well, that's my job. I'm supposed to be the liaison for that. Can you just take my card information? Like, can I prove to you that I have the information? He takes the guy's card information, the CCV, everything for this business credit card or this business debit card while I'm just standing there.
Yep.
It's like, well, nice to know that none of my stuff is secure whatsoever.
Well, and that's the thing, and that's people, and that's why I don't particularly think work from home is a viable thing, especially for security purposes.
Not for that. Yeah,
because like people are dumb.
You really should at least. I mean, my opinion is you should be in a closed off area, soundproofed, and it should be a company laptop that you do not use for anything else. And even then, you're still risking it because you're on a public Wi-Fi. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yeah, I get it. But that just kind of freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the setup we give people, or the company gives people, is you do get a full company computer, company like internet box and everything with its own, whatever security stuff on it. So like it's a little better, but still, it's not. I don't know. I think people have to get real eventually. The work from home stuff is, I don't think it's good for mental health as much, and I don't think it's as good for productivity and or security, but I understand some of the benefits. You get to spend more time around, home and your dogs and your kids, and, you can save a little bit on, daycare and so forth because that's expensive.
Yeah, and there are parts that I'm looking forward to. Obviously, having a newborn, I'm kind of excited to be home more often when I switch to remote. But at the same time, I am so used to working around large groups of people. Like you said, with mental health, I don't know how I'm going to handle the isolation. I do kind of worry about that.
Yeah, it's an odd thing.
People aren't meant to be alone.
Yeah, it's an odd thing, but most people adapt in some form or fashion. It's just not my preference, but whatever. What do I know?
Well, it's also difficult to divide home from work.
100%.
Even if you have an office space, there's a lot of distractions.
Yeah, 100%. So anyway, hey, let's move into a new segment called "What did you get What did you get me for Christmas?"
Oh, I thought the segment was going to be called "Actually Talking About Star Wars for a Change."
No. See, now's the time where we try and guess what we got each other for Christmas, and then we try our best not to give away facial cues if we guess correctly. You go first.
I'll just say that I got you a ton of stuff for Christmas. Most of it is from Dad because he didn't want to shop, and I ordered it for him.
What are you talking about, man? I'm not going to get the wad of cash from him. That's terrible.
No, you're not just going to get the $101 bills to take to the strip club this year. Sucks.
Dang, come on.
From his drug dealer coat,
Oh, jeez. Jeez.
For those of you out of the loop, I was a really, really stupid teenager, and I had like South Pole, like really, I don't know if I should say the word, the D word, really, really terrible clothing. I was a dirtbag. We'll just say that D word, a dirtbag. And I left one of those coats when I moved out, and instead of my dad throwing it away like a normal person, he's like, I'll keep it.
It's a coat.
It's a coat. It's got fuzzy liner. It's nice. It's warm. I'll keep it.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, I'm not guessing any of it. Yeah.
Fine.
Not playing the game. You'll have to wait till tomorrow.
Okay.
Sorry.
Fine. All right. I guess is it time to talk about Star Wars?
Don't we have like 3 more segments before we get into that? I mean, I guess we don't have Rings of Power to talk about anymore.
There's no other shows. I finished with season 10 of Bake Off, the Great British Baking Show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I watched Wednesday, most of Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
Did find a decent horror movie on what was it? Was it HBO or Netflix? Netflix, I think. Barbarian. Highly recommend that for anyone into some creepy stuff.
What a creep.
It's about people that get attacked by this weird, like, cave basement dwelling creature in an Airbnb. It's awesome.
A cave basement dwelling creature.
Yeah, it's like a basement that goes into a crawl space underground, and it's like a dungeon underground built in the 50s. It's actually a pretty good movie for being very disturbing in certain ways. Just leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah. I know you're not going to watch it, but it's okay.
No, probably not. Yeah. I don't watch anything really. just crap.
Except for baking shows.
I mean, sometimes.
Do you watch the show where people try to figure out if something is cake or not? Did you not know that was a show?
It sounds oddly familiar, but I'm going to say
I think it's literally called Is It Cake?
Wow, that sounds like a lot of effort was put into that particular show, and we should not bash it at all.
Yeah. It's great. Like, they have 3 people. It's like Price is Right, only instead of a board with different questions, the guy just holds a knife against the object. It's like, is it cake? Is it cake? And they cuts it.
So dumb. I just see just like, is it cake? I'm gonna cut it. No.
Surprise, it's an actual dog.
No, it's people. Look at the blood.
It's not cake, it's Soylent Green.
Oh, jeez. It was your childhood math teacher. Ow. I didn't know I was going to get stabbed.
This one was an actual hamster.
It
was an actual hamster.
It's cake. God, so dumb. Oh, wait. No, that's not cake. Crap. Get it out of here.
See, I would be terrible with that because I would like put blood packs on it, even though it was cake, and just make people really confused for a second.
Okay. Oh, boy. All right.
All right, now we should probably get to Star Wars. Yeah, I think so.
All right. Episode 7 of Andor.
Announcement.
Yeah. Talking Andor. So, yeah. We start off with psychological.
Our favorite creep,
psychological
Cyril.
Talking. Did you enjoy the talking?
I enjoyed the backstory into why Cyril is as messed up as he is. And it's all his mom's fault.
He is such a loser.
He really is.
I mean, no offense, but like he's such a loser. Yeah. Oh my God.
I wish they could have at least gone slightly more like a Hux route where he at least has power.
Yeah.
But he really just is.
Here's pathetic. The thing, though. I actually do appreciate this character a lot because the Empire is so vast at this point, and there are a lot of little people who want to make it, but just won't. So for every Governor Price, there's this guy. You know what I mean?
There's a ton of him.
Yeah, he's a dreamer. He's someone who wants to be more than what he is, but at the end of the day, he isn't. He isn't anything. He's kind of an overcompensating, nervous disposition faker.
Yeah.
You know?
And not to, bash the show because I think he's really well written. He's a well-written character. He's just not a likable character, but he's they put effort into him. I really think they did.
Well, it's like back when you watch like professional wrestling, right? You always had the one guy who's supposed to be the bad guy and then the good guy. It's like, who's Hulk Hogan got him beat up this week? But the thing is like to have a truly effective hero, you have to also have a very effective villain or just a character that you dislike. You have to have those, and that's what tells a story. So in his case, he's kind of a loser. He's got an overbearing mother. He doesn't have the confidence that he thinks he should, and he acts out his fantasy in a way that, let's be frank about it. could probably get him killed.
Yeah, and honestly, not spoiling anything, there are things that happen with him that he absolutely should have gotten killed a few times over. But I mean, he's definitely the kind of character to me that seems like he's framed out as just unimportant enough to be unassuming.
Yeah.
But like, I totally expect him to just stumble into a situation to just ruin our main character's days. I mean, like,
Right.
He's just that kind of character.
And that's the thing. It's like that's what should happen. That's exactly what should happen for that character. Then we kind of move into our ISB meeting, which
is awesome.
Brilliantly done.
Oh, it was amazing.
Buddy.
I love the acting. Yeah. I love the dialogue. This is like that like that aristocratic old British acting that you kind of got glimpses of from A New Hope that you wish you could have gotten more from.
No, it's fantastic, and we have our what is our? It's like Deidre. I don't remember her last name. No, I'm thinking about it.
Deidre Miro.
It's
Miro.
Supervisor Miro, and you know this is the bureaucracy of the Empire at its finest. You know,
love it.
You see her like
so much.
Yeah, getting on her new uniform, putting that on all nice and crisp.
Getting her not iPad ready.
Totally not. And then we walk into this meeting of supervisors, right?
Yeah. And major part of Gas is just,
he's so good.
God, he's perfect. And obviously the guy's done a million things. He's well versed and he's a master. But God, he's so good in this.
No, agreed. And not only that, you also get to see you get to see the ambition of others. Who was our other supervisor that we tangled with?
That is, I have my list here. See if I can find him. I don't think he's on the list.
You're not on the list.
Apparently not considered important enough. Now I got to just find it on the actual show. But anyway, keep going while I look for him.
So we're going over this whole situation. We have a personal reassurance from the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
Do we really have that? But we have this assurance from the Emperor that the ISB will be taking control of this situation, and we start to get like kind of reports. We have our one. It's like, you've given me 3 reasons why you suck. Now give me all the trade routes to Ord Mantell, like tomorrow.
And by the way, not to give anything away, this is a kind of important character. It's definitely one to focus on. I totally missed out on him the first watch through. So,
wow, dude.
Wow. No, just saying. I'm not spoiling anything.
Like, I would never miss out on anything. Blevin. Lieutenant Supervisor Blevin. And Blevin kind of tries to set a little bit of a trap here for Miro, and it doesn't work.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, she handles it just beautifully. And Pradagast just is egging it on, like, all right, give me your thesis statement on this. Explain to me, how did you make this work? How'd you get around the regulations and everything? Like, he's proud of her. And I love how it ends because, she ultimately wins, gets all of his work on top of her own, and they go for a little walk, and the major's like, good work. Watch your back.
And I think it's Denise Go, or if you want to go the Van Gogh route, Denise Goff. I don't know exactly how she says her last name, but anyway, I'll say Denise Go. But her acting here was really nice because, like, at first, very confident, condescending, very much in the moment, but you could even see at the end where she is a little flustered, a little shaky there, but still holds her ground. Like, this is the effect of a true verbal sparring match where literally you're being accused of essentially like treason. Like you could be killed
Right.
for this. So this is a high stakes game. And it's nice that they directed this so well to show that on her face. And she was skilled enough to convey that. I thought that was really, really neat to see. That whole scene was just a 10 out of 10. Just a beautiful
And we were both very excited about the, getting into all the politics of the Empire, but I don't think either of us expected what we got in this scene. Like that,
right.
It's just awesome. It's more than you would expect from a TV show in general. I mean, we don't even get this in the movies. Like, could you imagine if we got an extended cut with a little bit of this in A New Hope, how differently that would frame the whole movie?
Yeah, for sure. So then we move on to Luthen and Mon Mothma. And Mon Mothma's so shocked. Here's the thing.
Shocked by all the artifacts and the deals. All the deals.
All the deals. We've got Black Friday on weapons. Here's the thing.
Would you like to put this on layaway?
We're not Kmart. Credits are nothing.
I'm sorry. I mean affirm.
Okay. Something that I really enjoyed about this is, so Mon Mothma has not been my favorite character in Star Wars. And
mine either.
Yeah. I've struggled to find redeemable characteristics because the thing is like, I think she means well, but when you start looking at like Aftermath and some of the other books that portray the Republic after the Rebels win, she's not particularly likable for me because she's so naive that it almost undercuts all of these years that she survived as a senator, as an irritation.
Well, doesn't it kind of remind you of like our take on Yoda here recently?
Yeah, sure.
In a way, like you grow up watching these movies, and Mon Mothma is an iconic name, just like Yoda.
Yep.
And she just kind of rests on that throughout the series. I feel like everyone has a lot of respect for the character without any reason. Then you start diving in. It's like, well, wait.
Yeah.
Like, she's kind of a part of the reason why the sequel trilogy even was able to be a thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, they didn't have any way to defend themselves.
Yep. But the bigger thing is, she's a sit and waiter. And oftentimes people who just sit and wait lose their opportunity because they've waited too long. And she's never seemed to be someone who particularly understood timing of a thing. And Luthen's pushing the boundaries. No mistake about that. This operation was stupid. It was
insane.
Yeah, it was a bumble. It was a mess. And it had every opportunity of complete and utter failure, but it just happened to go off because Andor was the actual linchpin here.
Mm-hmm.
But
which they didn't even know of his existence really, like weeks before the actual mission.
Well, think about this. Let's think about Andor not being there, and somehow this crew does the mission. You had a character.
I don't think they do. I don't think there's any way they do.
Yeah, but let's just say hypothetically. Skeen, right, was our dirty guy's name. The thing is, what happens when they get somewhere? Is he still going to try and take the credits?
Oh, he totally ends up killing them all, I think.
Yeah.
Without Andor's, actions.
I'm just saying it's kind of a weird thing where without Andor probably wouldn't have worked regardless, but who knows if the credits would have ever gotten there, but they have, and Luthen's ready to move, and I don't blame him. How long can you stay underfoot until you're ready to roll? You got to do something, and this is the time.
Well, and we kind of have a big conversation about that in this because Mon Mothma's completely hesitant to do anything that Luthen's outlining because essentially what she's doing is being an accomplice in the suffering of millions of people because what they have to do to actually turn the tides is make the Empire be the evil entity that we all know that they are, that these people know that they are, because they're just slowly choking the life out of the galaxy and no one's, it's the old adage of the frog in boiling water. no one's really paying attention to what's happening. And obviously, thinking of it with humanity in mind, it's terrible that they have to do this, but she's very naive in thinking that people won't suffer one way or the other when the Empire is involved. If they do nothing, people will suffer.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's almost like her naive nature is still a little more endearing in this than it ever has been in books or movies. I'm still finding myself leaning more towards liking her slightly because of this show. I don't know if it's just the actress and how well she portrays her, but I am starting to like Mon Mothma a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say the jury's still out for me, I think.
Yeah.
And we'll kind of see as we go along. But kind of moving forward past that, we get Cyril's new job opportunity, which is super fun. Desk job in his nice
Not
brown
really.
suit.
It's brown. Why is it brown?
It's tailored in brown. I do think it's funny that the whatever this supervisor guy brings up his past, and he tells him about it. It's like, yeah, we can just get rid of that. Clean start, right?
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like blackmail, though. Like,
just a little bit.
If you don't do this well, then we could just kill you. Why do you think this seat's free?
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of wondered that. It's like, did the guy get killed, or was the job just so miserable that he couldn't stand it anymore? And he went on a rampage and just started killing people or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Going forward, let's see here. What do we got? We got Mira just, I want some reports. We have, what is it? Is it Cinta? Yeah, Cinta. Still on the old planet with a speeder. Mm-hmm. All very small things, I would say, moving forward. And then we have Vel. Vel is on Coruscant now, and she meets with Luthen's right-hand lady.
Yeah, this is a cool little interaction, because clearly they, obviously we're all working towards the same thing, but they are not fans of each other in any way.
100%. Well, I think Vel's breaking protocol. She's not supposed to be here at all. She's not supposed to be sending messages and so forth. And ultimately now she's effectively got a new order to go find and kill Andor.
Which totally would have worked out for her.
Well, you got to keep Luthen's name out of your mouth, Just keep it out of your mouth, Andor. Just like we're gonna take it out of your mouth. Or put it in your mouth. I don't know. Just pause.
God.
All right, moving on. Andor's back on his semi-home planet. Visits his mommy.
Yep. And she basically tells him to get off her planet.
Get out of my plane. So she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to leave. She wants to stay. This is her own minor rebellion. We do get a little bit more with the actual Clem, or his sort of adoptive father, who was hung.
Yeah.
In the town square for
they also kind of framed it like he was gunned down as well.
Yeah, that was interesting. We got a little bit of a flashback, and it kind of looked like, so there was some, I don't know, protesty people throwing stuff at the stormtroopers, and he was trying to stop them.
Yeah, he walks away from Andor into this crowd to try and break up this feud, and unfortunately is caught in the midst of retaliation and is shot.
Well, I don't know.
Well, it's off screen. I mean, it seemed like they were getting ready to fire on them. They might have fired on everyone else and then hung him for treason after. It's hard to say.
Maybe, but let's just say he's dead.
Yeah, very dead.
Foreshadowing, though. Interesting foreshadowing there. When you get involved, there are two very different things. When you get involved, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But when you lose, you're dead.
Well, and it's interesting because his death affected Andor and Andor's adoptive mother very differently. Andor wanted nothing to do with this rebellion, just kind of wanted to lay low and stay away from the Empire, whereas What's her name? I'm sorry. Do you have her name? Marva.
Yeah.
Marva. Yeah. You have Marva, who's just fired up and ready to see the Empire burn because of this.
Exactly. But long story short, she's not leaving, and Andor leaves without her, but he does meet up with Bix.
Yeah.
Good old Bix.
Poor old Bix is in rough shape at this point, too, unfortunately.
I'm interested how they're going to use her.
I am too, because you really could go a long way with her. I mean, you could write her into the rebellion pretty easily. I think she'd be a good fit for it.
Yeah. Then do kisses with Andor because they used to be together.
I'm trying to think now if like Rogue One had a reference to her in any way. Like,
I don't think so.
I feel like at one point Andor's asked if he's with anyone, and I don't know. I have to rewatch it now.
Well, we all know what he was thinking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so definitely had some eyes for somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right.
So anyway, just to pull back a little bit, we get a sick rager of a party at Mon's. Party at Mon's.
Yeah.
Look, Mon's doing keg stands. Yeah.
God, I hate the aristocrats of Coruscant so much after this. Like, we don't even really don't even interact with any of them, but just, I don't know, the ignorance of all these people just thinking the Empire is their ally.
Well, it's a boring party.
Sure.
Even the kid wants to leave. Here's one theory I do have, and I'm just going to throw this out here. And you know what? I'll also officially say this. I stopped watching the series when we stopped doing shows.
Oh, you haven't finished it?
Mm-mm. All new.
Oh.
I stopped.
No,
I stopped watching because we weren't doing the shows.
Oh, and nothing's been spoiled for you?
No, because I don't
Well, I'm excited. Now I get to see your reaction fairly early after watching the end. Cool.
Yeah, I don't look. But one of the things I started to think about is like, I feel like her daughter is definitely more involved in things than like, I'm just saying, it's like she wants to go off and like, I feel like maybe she follows her mom or followed her mom somewhere and like she's a secret little rebel kid and eventually they'll be friends.
Right. Well, it's weird that you don't really hear anything about Mon's family at all. Honestly, I don't think there's even mention of them before this show.
I don't think so.
I'm mistaken, which is crazy to write that in.
It is interesting.
It's almost a little too jarring in a way.
Yeah,
but we do get some cool stuff down the line with her daughter. You know, she's not just a background character, so yeah, you'll like that.
Yeah,
her husband sucks though. He's just the.
Well, yeah, no, he's got a man bun, so like, let's not even trip, okay?
Tripping on that man bun. But yeah, I mean, the boring party just
looking
basically.
It up here. What's her daughter's name in this in our show here? Do you remember?
Oh no, but I'll see if I can find her.
Let me click a page here.
I cannot. She is clearly not important enough to be on that list. Let's see.
Lydia.
Ah.
Lydia Mothma. So apparently there is some Legends stuff in here. I was just kind of running through.
Really? Any like interactions with Leia, I wonder? Because they'd be about the same age.
Apparently there was also a brother, Jobin.
Really?
And I mean, the only thing is there's no spouse. There's never any spouse listed for Mon.
Maybe they just felt like he wasn't worth mentioning.
Yeah. Let's see.
In Legends, is her name Lydia as well, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently.
So they're pulling from Legends slightly on that. That's cool.
I wonder if this is in a book somewhere. So, just as the Battle of Hoth commenced, Jobin created a holographic message to his mother in which he told Mon to send Lydia to his love and inform her that he would write as soon as he could. Jobin was killed by the Imperial forces in the battle, and his message did not reach his mother until the next year.
Interesting.
Interesting. So her son in Legends actually fought in the Battle of Hoth.
That's pretty cool, actually.
That would have actually been kind of neat.
I wonder if anyone's tied in to like who he is in the movie, or like if he's in the movie.
I don't think she has a second child in this. I think this is just Legends.
Well, right, but like if they tried to figure out who he was, like if they found who it would have been in the movie. But
sure, but yeah. But I'm just saying, I don't think.
Obviously, that'd be retcon now.
Yeah.
In any way.
Oh, they have a little picture. They have a little like an animated picture of him on just Star Wars fandom.
Nice.
He was a corporal in the Alliance. Oh God, they're saying he was killed by Darth Vader in the Battle of Hoth.
Really? Crap.
Wow.
Going through the tunnel maybe or something.
Killed at the hands of Darth Vader while attempting to escape Echo Base. Wow.
That's pretty cool.
That's an interesting story. Anyway, so yeah, nothing really Legends wise about her. But I just feel like she'll come up with something later, and maybe they'll have a little bit better relationship than what they do. But anyway, in our background of our scene here, we do have an old friend of hers that she's talking to from Chandrilla, and giving a little task. It's like, hey man, could you like get my money? Like,
I need my money.
I need to fund some stuff.
Stuff that I can't be seen funds in.
Like if you just come to Coruscant like maybe every month or something like that and just brought
I got this cool place with artifacts. You could put your money in that room with the artifacts, and then I could pick up that money and hide it in an artifact.
Well, it kind of makes me wonder if like she's almost trying to counter Luthien here. Or Luthen here, just as sort of well, I mean, we see it later in Rogue One, where everybody had a different faction. Everybody was fighting in different factions, and maybe she's trying to build up her own faction, sort of in.
Now that would be something pretty interesting to get into. I think that'd be pretty sweet.
It would be. Now that would be a Mon Mothma show, probably not an Andor show.
Yeah, we got 12 episodes, but we don't have that kind of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
This show is really making me wonder, though, like, wealth in Star Wars is always kind of weird. Credits are all over the place and what their value is, but, like, how rich is Mon Mothma?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of... I mean, there's a lot of sources that kind of lead to think that, like, she funded the majority of the rebellion.
Yep. Yeah, it is interesting. Obviously, has a pretty vast family fortune, but you know, we'll see more of that. Ready to get to
people would be kind of interesting to get into. I think.
I mean, are they?
I don't know.
Maybe
potentially a Naboo situation. You never know.
Yeah. Well, you know what's even better than all of that? Going to Miami.
Showers.
Going to Miami. Just popping on some tunes and getting chicks and hiding your credits in the shower.
And probably doing space drugs.
My name is Jeff.
I'm just a tourist.
Look, this is totally what Cassian would do. I'm kind of glad that they did this sort of
it's hilarious, and I love it.
Yeah.
And I love the the trooper just talking to us like, you part of it? Yeah, that's what someone part of it would say. I'll do the question. I'll give the questions out. Come on now. Yeah. You part of it.
But look, man, when you're out of pesos, you know, that's messed up. Okay.
You trying to cross that border? Trying.
I just think it's kind of funny. You know, he's just at like this space resort, you know, he's got money and so forth. He's at this like weird space resort thing. And you know, he's got some girl, he's got money in a blaster, you know, tucked above his shower. And then again, like I was
stupidest spot, like why would you hide it by the shower?
You know, what the hell else does he know?
Moisture, that's good for a blaster. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing though. And that's why I talked about like foreshadowing earlier. when you get involved, when you try and live in peace with the Empire,
Yep.
it's
they always
never
find you.
going to happen.
And Marin tried to tell him that they will always come find you, There's only going to be peace for so long. And there's only peace because you have your head dug into the sand and you're ignoring the fact that there isn't peace, ultimately, with the Empire.
Yep. Yeah, it was interesting. And then he meets the direct, corruption of the Empire, where one of these stormtroopers in his sweet all white armor with his pants,
the kind of Andor armor,
yeah,
speed bike,
just basically profiling him. And tourists don't run. It's like, I wasn't running. Are you a part of it?
What?
Don't.
Why are you sweating? Why are you sweating? Because it's hot out. Or because you're nervous because you're part of it.
Yeah. You need to calm down, sir.
Shore Trooper. They're called Shore Troopers.
There we go.
Nice.
The Jersey Shore Trooper.
Oh, my God. The OC Trooper.
The OC Trooper.
California.
Yeah, here we come. We also get a couple of the sort of droids like K2. I think they labeled them as like KX. Yeah, KX unit.
Yeah. I got so excited for no reason because I know it wouldn't line up with the comic, but I'm like, oh my God, he's going to meet K2. So at the end of this episode, that'd be awesome.
I thought about that a little bit too, but yeah, unfortunately, the comic, you'd have to completely destroy that if you wanted to, which I'd be fine with. I don't really care. It's like one comic.
Right. As long as they kept the humor from the comic.
Exactly. But here we go. Cassian's in trouble, and he's being arrested, and he's being charged with a credit card machine. That's one of those old credit card deals that you made the carbon copy of the credit card.
Freaking awesome.
I mean, they do like reusing old props, I guess. I just thought that was funny.
And by the way, did you catch that his sentence was changed because he was a tourist? Because she's literally like 6 months. But I'm just a tourist. You know what? Was 6 months, 6 years.
Yeah, this used to be a 6 month sentence. 6 years, have fun. So it's pretty crazy. A 6 year sentence. He obviously didn't do anything, but they got him for a bunch of anti-imperial speech and all this stuff. When technically he's a murderer, so he could have gotten more. I'm actually more surprised that they didn't figure out who he was.
Yeah, because, I mean, he is technically in their systems. So it's kind of weird that they didn't run checks of any kind. I mean, of course, we also don't know how far into the future this is. Obviously, it's a fairly decent time jump.
Yeah.
But...
yeah, I don't know. It was interesting, but yeah, that's where we're kind of at. We have Miro rising up. We've got Cyril with the job, and Andor's going to jail, and his lady will never get her pesos, whatever that is.
That's right.
I dream them
all
as
bad.
I think they're Cheetos. I hope they're Cheetos. Pesos, Cheetos. That's what I envision them as.
My goodness.
But yeah, man, not a bad episode. So
not at all.
Let's go ahead and run into some ratings here. So what do you give it out of 10 and why?
You know what? I am going to do something that's really stupid here, and I really don't care. I'm going to overrate the crap out of this episode just for our Imperial scenes. Because they made the episode. They were perfect. They were spot on. I thought the acting was some of the best acting I've seen in all of Star Wars fandom whatsoever. It's a good setup episode. Obviously, we're starting a new arc here of 3 episodes, which this one I'm excited for you to see because it's a really good arc. Mm-hmm. We get some really good heartfelt moments. We get some kind of insight into why not only Cyril is the way he is, but also Andor. See what happens with his father. And I think as far as setup episodes go, they do a lot with this, because it's hard to do a decent setup episode and a backstory episode, I feel like. Because you're going two different directions, obviously. And to do them both really well, I thought was impressive. This is probably one of my favorite episodes of the season so far. So I'm actually going to rate this at a 9.
Ooh.
I just really love this episode.
Dang, okay. So while he's gone completely insane.
Yeah, but that is just to say, rating this completely separate from the show, not like how it ties in everything else. It's just, it's the acting. It's just awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so it really was a great episode. I think it was much more interesting than our bank heist episodes. Yeah, we're really starting to see sort of the chops of some of the characters, some of our supporting characters here. And we're starting to get more into actual intrigue. You know, we did a lot of setup to get here. And now we're here, and this is like, I think, probably when all the bad, the hate stuff that was going on, and you can't hide from your past comments. I know a lot of people did not like this series in the beginning, but I think we're getting into a part here that's a lot of fun. I really think Miro is an intriguing character. Partagast, of course. Like more of him. Obviously, Luthen doing his thing. Cassian, a bit of a backseat in this episode, I think, to the rest of it. But the acting was good. The setups were good. And I think we're moving into a pretty positive arc here, hopefully. And I think it's more interesting. It's way more interesting. So I'm going to be a little bit more tempered, but I am going to give it an 8.5. So I do think it is very, very good. And we'll see what the payoff is. So here we go, folks. 8.5 and a 9. Pretty highly rated. What's it rated on the IMDb? IMDb. Well, the entire series is holding an 8.4 with almost 95,000. Wow.
Nice. That's jumping up pretty quick.
Yeah, not bad at all. Okay.
Which is good. People are still watching. It wasn't just a quick dump of reviews right at launch.
Yeah, so it is currently carrying an 8.1. Not bad. Not bad at all. It looks like the ratings are overwhelmingly positive after this too, whereas it's largely been in the 7s, aside from episode 3, The Reckoning, which is an 8.6, and The Eye, which was a 9.1.
9.1.
Yeah,
really?
Crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think you'd find, looking at the reviews, that a lot of the lower rank reviews for this episode would probably be early on as it was released. I'm sure, the people coming back and reviewing the episode after watching the entire series are going to rate it way higher.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, all right, man. Anything else we need to talk about before we get out of here?
I think we're ready to call it a night.
All right, folks. Well, you know how to get a hold of us at TC Plan Podcast, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. A lot of changes will be coming up here in the near future. We have a lot of plans for, I guess you could call it sort of expansion or just, different things.
Rebranding.
Yeah, a little bit of rebranding, but we'll obviously still always stay with Star Wars content, but we do want to break out into some other stuff too. So hopefully you are all interested in that. And if you are not, well,
stop. Just stop.
I keep listening because I said so. Yeah, because I said so. So anyway, folks, that is all for us. So y'all have a great rest of your week.
And as always, may the Force be with you.